My name is Ali, and this is the story of a moment that changed the way I looked at my family forever. I always believed that family would stand beside you during the hardest days of your life. I thought that when pain entered your home, your loved ones would be the first people to knock on your door, hold your hand, and tell you that everything would be okay. But life taught me a lesson I never expected. My little daughter Sarah was the most precious person in my life. She was a cheerful child who filled our home with laughter. Every morning she would run to me with a smile and say, "Daddy, wake up, I want to play." Those small moments were everything to me. One day our world changed when the doctors told us that Sarah needed surgery. It was not something simple. The doctors explained that if we delayed it, her condition could become worse. I remember sitting in the hospital room, holding my daughter's tiny hand while she looked at me with innocent eyes. "Daddy, will it hurt?" she asked. I tried to smile even though my heart was breaking. "No, Princess, Daddy is here. Everything will be fine." But inside I was terrified. My wife and I spent days arranging everything for the surgery. We called relatives hoping someone from our family would come and support us. I called my father. "Dad, Sarah's surgery is next week. I just wanted you to know, we need your prayers." There was a short silence. "Oh, okay, son, we will pray," he replied. His voice sounded normal, almost like I was telling him about a regular appointment. I waited for him to say, "Don't worry, Ali, we will come." But he never said those words. I tried to convince myself that maybe he had his reasons. Maybe he was busy, maybe he had problems I didn't know about. I didn't want to believe that my own family didn't care. The day of the surgery arrived. I sat outside the operating room looking at the closed door. Every minute felt like an hour. My wife was crying quietly beside me. My hands were shaking as I prayed. "God, please protect my daughter. Take my years and give them to her if you have to." I looked around the hospital hallway, hoping to see a familiar face. A father, a brother, a relative, someone, but nobody came. Not my father, not my brother, not even one person from my family. My daughter went through surgery while I sat alone with my fears. After hours, the doctor finally came out. "Ali, the surgery went well. She is safe." Those words were the biggest relief of my life. I entered the room and saw Sarah sleeping peacefully. Her small face looked tired, but she was alive. I held her hand and whispered, "Daddy is here." That night I stayed awake beside her bed. I thought about my family. I thought about all the times I helped them. When my brother needed money, I helped him. When my father had problems, I was there. I never counted my sacrifices because they were my family. But when my daughter needed them the most, they disappeared. A week passed after the surgery. Sarah was slowly recovering. She smiled again, and that smile gave me strength. Then one evening my phone rang. It was a message from my father. I smiled when I saw his name. For a moment I thought he was finally asking about Sarah. I opened the message. My heart stopped. It said, "Ali, your brother's wedding is coming. We need $10,000 for the arrangements. You should send the money as soon as possible." I stared at the screen. I read the message again and again. Not one question. Not one word about my daughter. Not how is Sarah. Not how was the surgery. Nothing. Only money. I felt something break inside me. I called my father. "Dad," I said, trying to control my emotions, "you didn't even ask about Sarah." He stayed quiet. Then he said, "Son, we were busy. The wedding preparations are stressful." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Busy?" I asked. My daughter was in surgery. I was sitting outside an operating room, scared for her life. And nobody came. My father became defensive. "Ali, don't make this a big issue." Those words hurt more than anything. A big issue? My daughter's pain was a big issue. My fear was a big issue. My loneliness was a big issue. I took a deep breath and said, "Dad, I spent my whole life believing family means being there for each other. But I was wrong." He didn't reply. I ended the call. That night I sat beside my daughter's bed. She opened her eyes and asked, "Daddy, are you sad?" I forced a smile. "No, Princess, Daddy is okay." She held my finger with her little hand. "You always stay with me." Those words broke my heart. Because she was right. I stayed with her, not because I had to, because I loved her. Days passed and my father kept calling about the money. But something inside me had changed. I wasn't angry anymore. I was just disappointed. I realized that blood does not always create a family. Love, care, and support do. Some people share your last name but don't share your pain. And sometimes the people who truly stand beside you are the ones who deserve your heart. My daughter's surgery taught me something I will never forget. In the darkest moments, you discover who truly belongs in your life. I still respect my father because he is my father. But I learned to stop expecting from people who never showed up. Today, Sarah is healthy and happy. Every time she smiles, I remember that difficult day. And I remember the lesson it gave me. Family is not just the people who are connected to you by blood. Family is the people who stay when life becomes difficult. And that day when everyone was missing, I found my strength in the one person I was fighting for, my daughter.